Have you ever wondered why some people just have the riz, that charisma that just brings other people around them, attracts them like a moth to a flame? The good news is, that's not necessarily something inherent. That's a skill that you can develop and work on. So what is it? What is that thing? I'll tell you right now, it has nothing to do with how big your network is or if you're conventionally attractive. No, it all boils down to one thing, and that is confidence. You're gonna wanna watch the rest of this video because while confidence is simple enough as a concept, putting it into practice takes a little more than a mindset shift. So in this video, I'll share with you what confidence actually is, some famous examples of confidence in action, what many people get wrong about confidence, and some simple exercises to help build self-confidence and put this skill into practice. Okay, so what's the source? What's the basis? What's the root of confidence? If you're in business, if you're an artist, in your relationships, confidence will help you thrive in all aspects of your life. Confident people have a strong sense of self-worth, and they don't need validation from anyone else. No, they got it. They just got it. The je ne sais quoi, the secret sauce. You know what I mean? And what's really cool? If you can believe in yourself, if you think that you can do something, you absolutely can. And here's the trick with confidence. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Mastering confidence starts with one thing. It's as simple as picturing your end goal. Visualize it with all your might. See it with every fiber of your being. Think about the sensations that you would have if you were to experience whatever that end goal is, whatever you want, essentially. Picture that crystal clear. And then from there, fill in the gaps and the steps that you need in order to get to that space. There are a ton of famous examples of this, and one of my favorites is Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, Jingle All the Way, the former governor of California. The Governator. He's not British, he's Austrian. Anyway, from when he was a teenager in Austria, he believed that he could be the bodybuilding champion, the #1 bodybuilding champion in the world. Pretty lofty goal. And then from there, he decided he just needed to figure out what he needs to do from where he was in that moment as a teenager in Austria to get to being the #1 fitness bodybuilder champion in the world. He identified these steps, and those steps looked a little bit like, okay, you want to be a fitness professional, you might want to start getting on your fitness routine, maybe cleaning up your diet and getting something consistent going on with weightlifting. Then probably compete in some bodybuilding tournaments. Win in said tournaments, and then keeping consistent with it, even if you don't win every time. Fun fact, Arnold actually didn't win his first tournament. He lost to 3-time world champion Sergio Oliva. This was in the Mr. Olympia competition in 1969. Could Arnold have just cut his losses and said, all right, well, it's been a good run. I won, not first place, but it's good enough. Yeah, absolutely. Did he? Absolutely not. In fact, Arnold went back, he revisited what he needed to work on, spent the next year working super hard on all of that. And then the next year he came back and he won as the youngest Mr. Olympia ever. So really it boils down to your vision, this belief with every bone in your body. Even if you don't know how you're going to do it, or if you don't have the skills yet, or if you don't know how you're going to do it, having that innate belief in yourself that you can do it, that is the root of confidence. You fill in the steps, you figure it out. But that has to come from deep within your heart, deep within your core. Some other examples of this are Miss Oprah Winfrey. She had a really tough childhood, and she overcame a lot to be this media mogul. Steve Jobs did the same thing. He had this belief that his technology and his vision was so different and so creative that it would transcend technology as we know it today. And all of those things happened. But if those individuals, if Arnold, if Oprah, if Steve didn't believe in themselves, they wouldn't have achieved all the great things that they did. It helps to have a powerful support system. It helps to have every advantage possible. Advantages aren't available to everyone, and it can be really hard to get up after you've fallen down and to keep going. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in your vision and you take the steps to reach those goals, you will see results. Just staying consistent and continuing to place one foot in front of the other, knowing that the ground is going to be there in front of you. Now, some people say you can fake confidence, and I don't really agree with that. Here's the thing. You can fake confidence as a sort of launching pad to get you from point A to point B of where you have to go to reach your goal. You can look in the mirror, you can say, I am capable, I am smart, I am creative, I am enough to do this. That's super important. But if you don't have a belief in yourself to get you to that next step, it's not going to happen. Listen, you can tell other people that you're an astronaut until you're blue in the face, but unless you go to astronaut school and do astronaut training and address that fear of heights that you might have in order to go to the moon or wherever NASA sends people, it's just not going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to share some things later on in this video that you can put into practice to help build your self-confidence. So make sure you stay until the end. And if you like what you're seeing so far, give me a like, give me a subscribe so you don't miss greatness in the future. Back to a regularly scheduled program. That's not to say that confident people don't struggle with self-doubt or insecurities. No way, that couldn't be further from the truth at all. The thing is they don't view insecurity and imposter syndrome as obstacles. Rather, they're viewed as reference points on a map to get them from where they are right now to where they want to be. For example, if you're asked to put together a complicated report at work and it's something that you've never done before, you can easily say, I don't know how to do that, and get passed up on the opportunity. Or you can ask yourself, are there previous examples of this that I can refer back to use as a foundation for this new report? Who do I need to talk to that has done this before that can maybe give me some insights? And what do I need to include in this report in order to be successful? Everything is about problem solving, and even if you don't have the answers right then and there, knowing that you can be resourceful and find them will get you far. All right, here's what confidence is not. Confidence is not arrogance, and I feel like sometimes people confuse the two, because confidence is not about showing up in a room and saying you know everything about everything and overpowering others. No, not at all. In fact, you can be just as confident in what you do know just as much as you're confident in what you don't know. Having that humbleness and having that humility helps build that authentic connection with other people where they feel safe with you. Even if you don't necessarily have the answers, you know the right person to go to, you know what the next step is, even if you're not involved. Confidence is more than just knowing things and knowing that you know things. Here's what it looks like. Confidence. I'm an amazing designer. I would be perfect for this project. Also confidence. I don't have any expertise in UX design, but I do know someone who does. Let me introduce you. Confidence is also not being the loudest person in the room. You see these folks where they feel like they need to overcompensate and overshare that they know this and that and almost boast that they are experts in field or thing A, B, or C. That's not the case. Confidence can be very quiet. Again, that self-assuredness that you know something and trusting that your work or your results will reveal that. You don't need to be excessive in volume. You don't need to be excessive in getting attention. Not necessarily. If you're confident, it will naturally radiate off of you and show in what you do. And also confidence is being able to share the space with others and having that expansive mindset that, yeah, you know your stuff, but there's also room for everyone else at the top. And now, finally, actionable tips to help cultivate self-confidence in everyday life. Let's do it. Oh my God, I got excited. Okay, to start building your confidence, start with small, actionable goals. You want to start with realistic objectives that you know you can accomplish, and that'll give you almost like a little boost that validates yourself. Yes, you can do it. Celebrating small wins helps boost your confidence and just helps create those building blocks for future objectives. Next, positive self-talk. We're not going to tell ourselves that we can't do it. We're not going to tell ourselves that we're not smart enough or enough in anything. You're 100% enough. You can do this, whatever this may be. I want you to replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Going back to the beginning, I am capable. I am smart. It's almost like tricking your body into believing that you can, even if you don't fully believe it yourself, by repeating it to yourself. Think about it. If multiple people come up to you and say that you're an extremely hard worker and you do a great job, eventually you're going to believe them, right? It's the same thing with yourself, and you are your biggest advocate. So start internally by telling yourself, yes, I can do this. Even if I don't have the answers, I will have the answers. Get that negativity out of here. We are not here for that. Next, surround yourself with a support system. This can be tricky, especially if you're in a field where you feel a little bit lonely or you don't have that support. But thank goodness we have the internet, and even if you can't get that immediate support from your friends, loved ones, or families, there are so many different avenues that exist. There are communities on YouTube, on Discord, Instagram, Facebook groups. Chances are, if you're feeling something and want to achieve something, there's other people that share that same dream and that same goal. And by engaging with those people, finding them somewhere out there on the world of interwebs or what have you, maybe IRL, do like a meetup group, I don't know. You're going to find like-minded people, and that's going to make you feel supported. Next, embrace failure. There's no such thing as failure. All failure is an opportunity to learn from that and keep moving forward. Remember our guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger? His original vision was to be the #1 fitness, weightlifting, bodybuilding champion in the world. And guess what? He did so much more than that. He became a massively popular actor. He became the governor of California. The possibilities are truly endless. You just have to stay consistent and know that if you don't exactly get that win that first time around, that's not the end of your story. It's the end of your story if that's what you choose to be your ending. Next is practice self-care. You know, in airplanes, when they say if the oxygen mask drops down, you want to put yours on first before you help the other person. How can you achieve great things if you don't first achieve greatness within yourself? And that means taking care of your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. Do what feels good for you to get you in that good place where you can start achieving your goals and setting out to do what you need to do. Next is visualize success. Again, back to Arnold. He saw that so clearly. Write it down. Make a vision board. Store it somewhere. Write yourself a letter as if you have already achieved this great thing, and then tuck it away for a year, just so it's subconsciously ingrained in your brain to do this. Next is step out of your comfort zone. Life happens. Not in the comfort zone. Do something that scares you every single day. Take a risk, even if it's just a 1% change that you make in your day. Whether it's speaking to someone who could help you on your journey that maybe you were intimidated to speak to, send that email, send that text, make that phone call. Do something that scares you, because once you start creating these new pathways in your brain, you open up new possibility just by doing it. And when you start small, again, those are stepping stones. Finally, track your progress. Love journals. Write things down. Hold yourself accountable. No one is going to be knocking at your door telling you, hey, have you achieved your goals today? Unless, maybe your mom does, or you have a really cool best friend. But you are going to be your biggest advocate. You have to do things yourself. By tracking your progress and making these goals, break them down into steps, break those steps down into mini steps, and then put a timeline on it. And guess what? If you don't reach that timeline, just move the goalpost and reset and see what you could do better in this new frame of time. Everything you set out to do, you can do. You just have to, 1, believe in yourself and have that super clarity that you can do it. And then 2, stay consistent and don't give up. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, all the things, and I'll see you next time.